The 2023 high school quarterback class is loaded with big-time names. Guys such as Arch Manning, Malachi Nelson, Nico Lamalieva, and Dante Moore are all ranked inside the top 10. But that's not it. Both Jackson Arnold and Christopher Vizina are both 5-star recruits as well, and then guys such as Jaden Rashada, Eli Holstein, Dylan Lonergan, and Avery Johnson are also ranked pretty highly. There have been some players who have moved down, who have moved up. J.J. Cole went from a lower 4-star recruit to a top 100 player. Oklahoma State commit Zane Flores has shot up out of nowhere, and Boston College commit Jacoby Robinson has also flown up recruiting rankings. But there is one guy who has flown up more than anyone else and could arguably be one of the top quarterbacks in this year's class, and every school for a little while wanted him. In today's video, we're going to talk about a quarterback by the name of Austin Novosad. Novosad is from the Lone Star State as he went to Dripping Springs High School and has quickly blown up from a lower ranking 3-star recruit to a top 100 player and someone that a bunch of big time programs wanted. Today we're going to talk about him, his recruitment, and what I think of him. But before we get started, if you love college football, you're definitely not going to want to miss out on this channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to support today's video, turn on notifications, and let me know what player, topic, or recruit I should cover next. Now, let's get started. Currently, Novosad is ranked as a 4-star recruit, the number 12 quarterback, and the 120th best player in the class of 2023. He has pretty much shot up out of nowhere, as his first offer only came 13 months ago, and he went from an unknown 3-star to arguably the fastest rising quarterback in the 23 class. As a sophomore at Dripping Springs, he threw for 2,887 yards with 36 touchdowns. From there, he gained Power 5 offers, but his heart was set on Baylor. This past December, he decided to commit to the Bears, saying, quote, "The coaching staff was a huge reason, and the relationships I have with them, as well as how I fit into their program and offense. Another reason is the academics and what the Baylor degree can do for me when football is over." As a sophomore, he'd end up passing for 3,399 yards and 40 touchdowns and would become the Texas 5A MVP. He obviously chose Baylor, but also had offers from schools such as Colorado, Houston, Texas Tech, SMU, UTSA, and Vanderbilt. A lot of those are lower tier Power 5 programs, but things would really start to ramp up for him. He began to blow up at camps, and once scouts saw this kid, they all got really high on him. He received offers from TCU, Stanford, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame, all since committing to the Bears. Scouts said, quote, "This Dripping Springs star is going to be a major riser on our recruiting rankings as we update them later in the month. He's coming off an outstanding Elite 11 performance, and this young man put on 15 pounds since his junior season, so he's just more powerful and more physically impressive than he was when you watch the tape. But he had a great year, threw for almost 4,000 yards, and some of the big dogs have come calling. It's not just Ohio State that's in there. Notre Dame offered this week, and he said he's going to give the Irish a look, and Texas A&M offered within the last 2 weeks, as both of his parents went to A&M. So with him rising up to a 4-star recruit and getting all those big-time offers, many assumed he was going to flip. He considered Texas A&M, Baylor, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, and Ohio State, but where would he go? Texas A&M was definitely a contender, as both of his parents were alums of the school, and he grew up attending games in College Station. Former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Johnny Manziel was a huge inspiration for him, as he would always watch him in elementary school, and he dazzled the crowd and obviously had a great college career. Also, in terms of A&M, they really haven't found their starting guy, as neither Haynes King or Max Johnson look to be the future, and we have no idea what we have seen in Connor Weigman. Add in the fact that A&M's closer to home, their extremely passionate fan base, the chance to play in the SEC, and the chance to play for Jimbo Fisher. There's also a ton of big-time recruits going in there, and Novosad had this to say, quote, "It was cool to get that offer, and it's something you've always worked for. But I'm still making a business decision, not sentimental or what you like." So A&M was obviously a good option, but then there was Baylor. He loved the coaching staff, bought into Coach Aranda, the program was close to home, he liked the academics, he could be the guy, he loved the direction of the Baylor program, and he was obviously already committed there. So he must have loved the place. Notre Dame was one of the later schools that offered, but they were another big-time program, have a lot of history to them. They have a young coach in Coach Freeman, they have one of the top 23 classes, and they also sort of lack a long-term quarterback. Novosad said, quote, "I think they know that they're a little late, but I think there's a good chance we can build a good relationship. They're going to try and recruit as fast as they can, but I think it's something to look at just because they're a good school too. I don't know the Notre Dame staff too well, but there's a good chance they can recruit well in the next week, and we can see where it goes from there." This was all happening this past summer, by the way. The main competitor was going to be Ohio State. This was obviously his biggest offer. They have a great track record with quarterbacks. They have Coach Ryan Day, and they have all the big receivers in the world. Big-time 5-star Brandon Inniss was always in his DMs, and having a chance to play with those kind of weapons was definitely going to be intriguing for Austin. CJ Stroud is expected to be the third straight starting quarterback taken in the first round of the NFL draft, following Justin Fields and Dwayne Haskins, and Novosad could have been next. He said, quote, "That's kind of Coach Day's message. You're going to be set up to go to the NFL with their offense, and you're going to be prepared to get there." That's what he's telling his recruits. The downside to Ohio State, though, it was going to be tough for him if he was there. 2021 5-star Kyle McCord is there, fast-rising 2022 quarterback Devin Brown was there, and then they have 5-star 2024 quarterback Dylan Raiola there. That is a lot of talent in that room, and while I think he is good enough to compete with those guys, that would have definitely been tough, and an opportunity to play early was something that was going to be offered at Baylor. After visiting all of those schools, he said he wanted to get his recruitment over with by the beginning of the year and decided to reaffirm his commitment in early August, saying, quote, "This past weekend, I went to Baylor again and got to throw at Coach Sean Bell, and I think it just made me feel confident about my decision. I've had a relationship with the staff for about a year now, and it continues to get better every week." So how good is Austin going to be in the future, and what does this mean for Baylor? Well, according to the QB hit list, he has fantastic size, is a tall, lengthy quarterback who will be able to add bulk to his frame, and he has a throttle of an arm with excellent range and a dangerous vertical passing game. He's also extremely accurate, does a nice job leading receivers with excellent ball placement, and has a great over-the-top delivery with full arm extension as a release. He's not only comfortable in the backfield, but he has great footwork, is very poised, has good pocket presence, is a very intelligent quarterback, and has won games. He was consistently ranked as a top 5 quarterback at this year's Elite 11 camp, and it seems that a lot of big-time schools wanted him. As coaches began to look for late risers in the 23 class and tried to find their quarterbacks, a lot of big-time programs consistently went to Novosad, and he is someone that I'm extremely excited to watch. This is absolutely huge for Baylor, as I'd argue this is the biggest commitment of the Dave Aranda era. He's had Charlie Brewer, Gary Bohannon, and Blake Shapen, and I think Aranda is looking for that one guy who's going to take him to the top. The program's in a great direction, and Novosad definitely has potential to be a top 3 or even the best quarterback in the Big 12. He's the centerpiece of their 2023 class, and right now, the Bears are recruiting at a high level. Currently, the Bears have the number 20 class in the country, with 4-star recruits in Novosad, offensive tackle Isaiah Robinson, and corner Tayshawn Wilson. All 3 of those guys are from the Lone Star State, but Novosad will continue to recruit more players and will be the centerpiece of a class that Aranda hopes will bring more Big 12 titles to Waco. Personally, I am super high on Novosad, which is why I decided to make today's video, and I think this guy is the most underrated recruit in the country. I'm really excited to see how he was going to do, and his recruitment was just insane. I really thought he was going to go to Ohio State for a while, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's definitely a new concept, but if you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment. Let me know what player I should cover next. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.